Could you take out the trash, please? Would you take out the trash? This guy's the luckiest guy. 3 chicks. How do you do this, dude? Good looking. Listen, your talent outshines your head. Yeah. It really does. You made a mistake. I have a good divorce lawyer. He works for the law firm. Do we cheat him in how? Set up for you. There's a lady from the cemetery. Come here. They reincarnated her. Died 2 years ago. She's back. I thought you died. I went to your viewing. Now you're back. Holy Canadian. Go home. No one wants you here. You're a pain in.
Oh my goodness. We had to do a little bit of bleeping there, but overall, you may know that man from many videos from his outrageous online comedy skits and infamous call-ins to the H3 podcast.
Jimmie Lee, a.k.a. the Jersey Outlaw, is a comedian, viral YouTube personality, and a dentist by trade. Jimmie, welcome. Thanks for coming on. How'd you get into comedy? Where'd you find your inspiration?
Well, basically, first, thanks for having me on Zoom because if I had to come into the studio, I could have get shot on the subway.
It's tough out there. Crime is crazy out there. And there's a lot of, obviously, reporting on that. But there's a lot of folks in the comedy world that kind of want to stay away from talking about politics, you know, how divisive it is. What are your thoughts on that and where comedy is going? Many tread lightly.
Well, today it's politically correct. I'm politically incorrect. You know, today you look to the left, they tell you look to the right. You look up, they tell you look down. You can't tell an old guy you died 2 years ago. You weren't notified. You have to be light and polite. Back in the 80s and 90s, when I was a kid growing up, I did the insults, the one-liners, the zingers, and I feel as I'm getting older, I need to keep that alive. Nobody's doing what I do anymore, so I do street comedy, wise guy style, old school style.
Yeah, you call people out, not afraid to make fun of them, which we're in a very PC climate, so I know that that's kind of risky. Clearly no fears of being canceled. Jimmie, I wanted to ask you, though, about your views on late night comedy. Why do you think it's changed so much?
Well, again, I think people are just politically correct or afraid to say anything, and people are afraid. So I'm the guy that comes out with no filter, unhinged, off the rails, and, you know, just says what's on my mind. And I think it works because nobody will do it. And the comedians, they don't interact with the public like they used to back in the old days. I go out on the street and I interact, you know, directly with them. In fact, I got to tell you, my TV show is doing so well now, I'm the only one that knows about it, you know? I mean, the New York Times, they gave me last week 2 thumbs down, and the New York Post, they gave me 1 finger up. Gives you an idea how well I'm doing.
Well, you got to be careful. You know, and James Corden, we were talking about that, another comedian, though, but he was under fire of how he treated restaurant staff there, coming out having to apologize. But it gets to this whole point of having to apologize. Yeah. Completely different thing.
I don't know how a guy goes in and does that. He should have ordered a salad, no carbs. I mean, he's a big guy, and not say anything. But he had to order 20 items, and he became a pain in the butt. And I'm steamed up about it. I got to tell you, Sean, I'm steamed.
Well, I you know, it's we like to treat our restaurant workers well. I've worked in a restaurant myself, and I know that they definitely work hard. Real quick, I wanted to touch on this too, if we could. I know that you met with President Trump, former President Trump. There, I saw some pictures. Do you have Can you explain that?
Well, I've met Trump several times. Actually, Sean, I got to tell you, he's a wonderful person. I mean, you ask him, he'll tell you. He's not shy, Donald Trump. And I really think we need a guy like him back in the White House. I really do. I think we need people that are going to allow us our freedom, you know, our autonomy and the right to make informed decisions. And I think we need him back.
All right. Maybe you got him to laugh at a few jokes, too. Does he have a good sense of humor?
He's a nice guy. He really is. He's a good guy. And as long as you talk about him, Emma, you're in good shape.
There we go. Jimmie Lee, thanks for coming on. Appreciate the conversation and for making us laugh today.
Okay, remember this, Emma. Politics is a very tricky business. 1 week you're on the cover of Time, and the next week Biden could be doing time.
Ooh.
Leave it right there. Jimmie Lee joining us live.
Gonna get me in trouble, Jimmie.
Comedy.
And Sean, you look just as good as you did on American Idol, buddy.
Why do you have to bring that up, Jimmie? I'm trying not to
look absolutely marvelous, baby.
Trying to bury those. Thank you, buddy.
Don't bury that, man. You still look great.
I appreciate that. That was a long time ago. Jimmie Lee joining us live. Good to see you, buddy.
Absolutely marvelous.
Thank you.
Thank you,
we got
buddy.
the music playing us off.